Do you guys remember this beauty? Oh yeah, started it last year but didn't quite know where to take this vehicle. Well, thanks to RadtoyzGalaxy, we have a new challenge that will now give me the opportunity to really take this to the next level. So yeah, let's roll that intro and let's get into this.
So, what are you two looking to add to your speeder?
Guns. Lots of guns.
Sure, I can do that. But it won't be cheap, as weapons like the ones you want aren't readily available on the open market. I'll need help on this one, and they'll need to be paid.
Happy New Year. This is my first post of 2025. Very excited for some of the progress that I've made and more that I need to make. So at the back of the vehicle, I've added these two rotating cannons, which are from the G.I. Joe Havoc that I've repainted this awesome gunmetal color. I've also added these two fuel tanks at the back of the vehicle. They're going to be Zilla fuel tanks. It's got to get the logos on there. And at the back of the vehicle, I'm going to be adding this thruster. So this was a 3D print that RadtoyzGalaxy did for me. It was for my custom N1 that he did for me, but I took that apart and used it for several different vehicles, some that you'll be seeing soon, but this is the latest one that has this greebly added to it. I have this awesome ion cannon, not yet attached. It still needs a rotating base for it with the droid head. So it has 360-degree view for the pilot and co-pilot. I'm going to be adding this minigun. So this is where it's going to be sitting, but I still need to add the rotating base. Nothing has been attached yet because of the fact that I'm still going to add some electronics. So there's going to be working headlights. There's also going to be lights inside the cabin of the vehicle. So that still needs to be done. So the battery housing is going to be under the hood. I have another minigun that I'm adding to the front of the hood as well. And I want to find a way of adding these awesome rockets. And there are a few other additions that I want to add to this vehicle that will blow your mind. So let's get into all of that in just a moment.
A few moments later.
So here are some of the progress that we've made. I started cutting into the side of the front, and then I'm going to smooth it out. I'm going to have to widen it a little bit so that way what I'm trying to put in there will fit. And so yeah, there's going to be a lot more guns and other greeblies added to this as well. So for the sides at the front here, I'll be putting these awesome things. Now, these are from the movie Avatar, the first movie. I don't think it was ever used in the movie, but these are supposed to be vehicles based from that universe. So it's like a motorcycle. I cut off the front end of the motorcycle, took the visor off so that I can use it on here. So these are going to be on the front here as like intakes. But they also have this little greebly here, which is from a Ghostbusters backpack. Now, unfortunately, they weren't the size that I was expecting. They're a little bit larger than I thought they would be, so I decided to use them in this diorama. This actually goes on this side, so that the way the wiring can run up to the hood here. And then I'm going to have one on this side as well with the wiring running up actually to this particular weapon that you will see a little bit later on. So I'm excited for that one. I'm hoping it's going to fit, it's going to work. So we made a little bit more progress. So this is what I'm actually looking to place into the hood. I still have to widen it a little bit more on this end here, so that way this can actually lower down into the chassis, and then this will be able to raise up and it'll sit up like this once it's open. So this is going to be going down there. I'm obviously going to have to clean up the edges and things like that. Maybe add a little border around it so that way it doesn't look too bad. And I'll show you more as I make more progress. So those are the vehicles that have influenced this build. Right now I'm drilling a holes to place my minigun. It's going to be a rotating minigun on the side. I'll be putting another minigun under the hood that I'll be pointing out the front of the vehicle. So we drilled the hole, and now these are the results. As you can see, I have my Whistling Bird rocket launcher on that side and my rotating minigun on this side. So it actually came out really good. The friction's perfect within that hole. So some of the other things that I had to do, let's remove the chassis, is in order for me to get to work down here, I had to actually cut this wire from the base of the vehicle right here. As you can see, I had to cut this off from there so that I can get to the bottom of the vehicle. And this is where I'm going to be doing some more of my electronics work. So at the front of the vehicle, what I'll be doing is right in this spot right here, I'll be adding my 9-volt battery. So that way I can add my other electronics that require more voltage. So this is where I'm going to probably use like maybe an elastic or something to hold the battery in place. Still not sure exactly how I'm going to do it, but that's going to be there in this spot right here. Now, some of the other things that I've done as well is, as you can see on the side here of the vehicle, I've added these little structures, which are from this AliExpress stage that I've actually glued on and repainted silver and glued them onto the front of the vehicle right here. And as you can see, it's quite sturdy. So yeah, it came out quite nice. Okay, so we moved from doing work on the front of the vehicle to now working on the back of the vehicle. So on the back engine of the Batmobile, there are these 2 holes at the back that are a little too small for the gas tanks that I want to put there. So I'm just widening those out by grinding the sides. And once I get that done, I'll be able to add the gas tanks to this as well. So everything's going to be repainted. It's going to be also given a wash, so that way it can bring out all the details as well for this section of the vehicle. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get any footage of me cutting the gas tanks so that they could fit into these holes. I'll actually be showing you in the next clip how I was actually shaving down the tanks so that they could fit into the holes.
That's what she said.
And then I dry fit everything just to see how it would look in the end. And then the next step will be to repaint them and then get the Zilla Fuel logo and put those on the tanks themselves. So I just cut the ends off of the fuel tanks. Unfortunately, there was still a little bit of pieces left over, so I'm just grinding that down so that it can better fit into the holes.
That's what she said.
And it'll have a nice snug fit. I won't bore you with this footage, so we're going to speed things up a little bit. So now the big question is, what do I put on top of the vehicle in terms of cannons? Do I want to put this massive cannon on top, like that, like this here? Or do I want to put this smaller cannon on top? You guys can let me know in the comments down below, and we'll do some of that in the next part. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And if you liked what you saw, give me a like and subscribe if you're new, and leave a comment, because it definitely helps me out, and I'd like to know what you guys think so far with this build. So the next steps are to put the cannon on the top, secure these onto the vehicle, paint them up, and then add the Zilla Fuel on the logo on here. And then I also want to repaint the vehicle, and then also add some decals on the side, like, you know, those little like the racing cars have, like all the different advertising. So I want to put some of that on the side, and then I also want to paint some stripes, and of course the electronics. So I'm looking forward to doing all of that, and we'll see you in the next video. And until then, take care, pirates.